It's Parker with Ultum Nature Systems, and today we're going to be doing some common troubleshooting on the UNS mini regulator. Before installation, you always want to double check all areas that could have potentially come loose during transit. This includes the solenoid screw, the pressure plate, as well as the small screw located on the needle valve. Inside the box for the mini regulator will include additional replacement parts, paintball converter, the regulator body, the bubble counter, power adapter, as well as a wrench. To ensure that the solenoid is functioning properly, you should hear a clicking noise when plugging it in. Make sure that both the pressure gauge and the needle valve are completely closed before installation. Make sure that the cylinder valve is fully closed before you install the regulator. After hand tightening the regulator, make sure it is secured with a wrench. It's important to make sure that the cylinder valve is completely closed before you screw on your regulator. Before you tighten the regulator on with a wrench, make sure that the gauge is in the correct orientation. Before you install the UNS mini regulator on a CGA 320 cylinder, it's important to make sure that the O-ring inside of the adapter is in proper position. To change the orientation on the bubble counter, you'll need to loosen this screw, readjust the orientation, and then retighten. When installing the mini regulator onto a paintball canister, it's important that you do not use the pre-installed CGA 320 adapter. Instead, use the paintball adapter that comes in the kit. After you're done hand tightening the adapter, make sure you use the wrench to make sure it is secured completely. It's important to note that the paintball adapter will not have an O-ring on the inside. However, paintball canisters come with an O-ring pre-installed. The UNS paintball cylinder does not have a pin valve. Instead, it has a cylinder valve, and it can be refilled at any paintball store when the valve is fully opened. To install the mini regulator on disposable cartridges, completely remove the CGA 320 adapter that comes pre-installed. When screwing the regulator onto the disposable cartridge, do not be alarmed by any leaking gas. Just keep tightening until it is fully secured. Once the regulator is on the disposable cylinder, you cannot remove it until the cylinder is completely empty and the pressure has dropped to zero. Once the pressure has dropped to zero, make sure that all valves are closed before you unscrew the regulator. If gas is still coming out even after the solenoid is unplugged, try opening up the needle valve, and if there is an increase in CO2 output, you may have a faulty solenoid. In this case, you may need to contact your supplier for a replacement. Here are some other common issues. If the CO2 gas isn't shutting off even after the power is turned off, check to see if the solenoid clicks when plugged in. If that doesn't work, try removing the solenoid and putting it back on. If the CO2 gas is still coming out, see how long the bubbles keep going after the solenoid shuts off. Sometimes residual pressure remains in the system and needs a few minutes to expel completely. Double check the gauge pressure to make sure you're not going over 40. If you are, the gas may keep being released even when the system is off. If you think you have an undetectable leak, you can use soapy water to help find the faulty connection point. Usually, leaks are caused by either gasket problems or a loose connection between regulator and cylinder. Spray soapy water onto the connection points, and if you see bubbles forming, that indicates a leak. Ensure that the O-ring is seated properly and undamaged before installation. Using the regulator for an extended period of time can cause the O-rings to expand due to the pressure, which is why we provide additional replacement O-rings with the regulator. There is also no need for an additional check valve as there is one built into the regulator. We recommend you not using an additional check valve as you may not be able to generate enough pressure to push the CO2 through both. It's also very important to make sure that the valve pressure does not exceed 40. We like to keep it between 20 and 40 psi. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you're looking for a more in-depth installation guide, be sure to check out this channel's other videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.